The Greenvale General Hospital is down the road by the lake. It's too far to walk. Come on, get in the car.
If I'm riding in a car, George, I prefer to be the driver. Can you provide a car for me?
What are you talking about? You don't even know how to get there.
Which is another good reason for me to drive, George. I need to learn my way around town.
Oh, man. Very well. Then I'll ride with you. I want to keep an eye on you.
Fair enough.
Just one thing, Agent Morgan. Your involvement in this case is limited. That means you don't have to learn your way around town.
George, we'd better get moving. The hospital closes at 2100.
よし。話ができる。うん。
Agent Morgan, get us there quickly, but drive within the speed limit. Just because you have a badge doesn't mean you can drive like a maniac.
George, what are you, his mother?
We just need to get the autopsy results.
Agent York isn't accustomed to the town yet. Give him a little slack. Well then, Agent York, let's get going.
Sure, sounds good.
まあ、確かに道がわからないよ。マップもよくわかんねえしな。結構遠いな。
Agent Morgan, I can't help noticing you prefer to work alone.
Most of the time, yes.
Don't you get lonely, flying all over the country alone?
I would say I've never felt lonely.
Are you married?
Unfortunately, relationships and I are fleeting strangers. I don't get on very well with women. You might be surprised to hear.
That's because you're young. You notice things like that at my age. You have to treat women carefully, like a thin crystal wine.
ここ行っていいのか。
If you don't, they can cut scars on your face, just like yours, right?
George, is this an interrogation? I see you're a seasoned professional. But let's not talk about the scar. It was caused by a problematic woman.
Well, she got you good. Terribly good.
It'll fade away, and nobody will notice it in a week.
A week? It's not that light of a wound.
Zach, we'll finish our chat later. Let's take a walk around here.
なんか
If you're wandering off, then we'll go on ahead. We don't have time to mess
ちょっと
around.
待っててよ。すぐだから。
I'll meet up with you later.
Agent York, the hospital closes at 2100. Please make it inside before then.
あれ行っちゃったの？これ見たいだけだよ。左手の骨。がっつり左手の骨じゃん。
A human bone? This doesn't look related to the case, but shouldn't I let someone know?
まあシェルフに伝えた方がいいんじゃないの？
So, about those bonus features in DVDs nowadays. You know, the ones from the 80s have almost no bonus material. Even if they do, it's a trailer. The visual quality is pretty bad.
ああ、やだね、そういう
Visual
の。
quality is a good reminder of those days. So many new audio and visual appliances were coming out back then. Do you remember the first video deck we bought? We bought it to record the Star Wars movies on TV. And remember when that video store opened, we would spend hours there, just trying to find a good movie to rent. There weren't that many to choose from back then. I remember renting some really bad ones after reading those back cover taglines. Hey, remember? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? Filmed in 1978. Produced, directed, written, and edited by
ちょっと
John
話
Favreau.
を
Really awful.
ね
For some reason, I still remember it pretty well. It had so many sequels, and the original was re-released in '95. The 87-minute-long theatrical release bumped up to a whopping 90 minutes. That was around the time I joined the Bureau. I never had a chance to see it.
I understand. Once this case is over, we can watch it together.
I bet we can buy a copy on the internet pretty easily.
別に見たくはないな。グリーンベイル総合病院。
Agent Morgan, have you no respect for rules and protocol? We were waiting for you, and now you try to go in by yourself.
Oh,
ごめん。
I didn't see you in the parking lot, so I thought I'd wait inside.
Just watch it from now on. I don't like considering people who think they're above the rules, and I'm sure I've made this point clear by now.
Calm down, George. You probably just got lost on his way here and rushed in. Right, Agent Morgan? Let's go inside then.
ごめんね。
Hello, Sheriff.
そばかすフィオナ。
Hi there, Fiona. We're here to see Usha. Do you know where he is?
I think Dr. Johnson is in the computer room.
Computer room? In a hospital?
Nice to meet you, Mr. FBI agent. The computer room is where our employees share a computer.
Very nice to meet you, too. I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. But how did you know I was FBI?
Easy. None of the police in this town wear cologne. Besides, that scar on your face is the biggest rumor in town.
Rumors get exaggerated as they spread, even in the countryside.
What's that you're reading, if I may ask?
Ayers House.
You haven't heard of this yet? It's a recent bestseller mystery. It's set in the U.S., a small traditional North American town close to the Canadian border. A peaceful, traditional place. However, that peaceful town is shattered by a terrible crime. The murder of a local girl. And that incident causes grief and sadness to everyone in town. But everyone feels the seditious, heinous evil still lurking, alive. Yes, much like the situation right now here in Greenvale.
Fiona, don't say that.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. With Anna dead and all.
Don't worry. Books are written to entertain. It's good you're enjoying it. What we're faced with here is a terrible crime committed in a real world. Much different from that of a novel. So there's no need to apologize.
Thank you, Agent York.
.看護師じゃないんだよね。でも看護師の格好してんの。まあ行こうぜ。行こうぜ。行こうぜ。アッシャーね。そうか。
We couldn't find him.
いないじゃん。
Fiona needs to check her information.
いっぱい
No,
食
I
わさ
don't
れて
think so. Does the doctor like playing games by any chance?
What do you mean?
What do you
There's a
mean?
message on the computer, and a card key already set in place. The king passes the rook and meets the bishop. The knight takes a pawn along for the queen.
What does that all mean?
It's a simple puzzle.
Zach, let's take him up on his challenge. You can do this, right?
何？どういうこと？ 順番にこれがポーンでしょ。ビショップ、クイーン。これナイトか。キングはルークを超え、だからルークが最初で、キングが、違う、ビショップにあって、ポーンを引き連れたナイトがクイーンに会う。You lose あれ
Zach, something is still missing. We need more clues.
ちょっとごめん、わかんないわ。イング。チェスのことね、知ってないんですよ。こういうね、ボードゲームみたいのね、わかんないんだよな。あったな。困ったな。出てくるまま選んだらよかったわ。
The doctor awaits below with the deceased.
Another code? But there's nowhere to insert a password.
More games. I'm going to get Fiona to call Usha up here right now.
No need, George. The message appeared with the card key. It's telling us where to use it.
This is not the time to be joking around, Agent Morgan.
Dr. Usha is below with the deceased. With Anna. Below being underground, I take it. Simple. Simple.
Then it's time to meet the mischievous architect of this little game.
Nah.
なんだかめんどくさい人なんだな。さあ、どんな人物なんでしょうか。まだかよ。セーブしとこう。よし。さあ、一体どんな人物なんでしょうか。
Usha, sorry to keep you waiting.
Ah, you made it. Let's get started, shall we?
アッシャー・ジョンソン。犯人か？
This is Agent Morgan from the FBI.
Nice to meet you. I'm Usha Johnson, the doctor in this hospital.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. Everyone calls me that.
Very well, Agent York.
Are you a forensic practitioner?
Let's just say I've dealt with corpses before.
That battle of wits, by the way. Did you create that yourself?
I just wanted to see if our FBI agent could handle the task.
I see. Well, it was pretty fun.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it.
We don't have much time. We need those autopsy results.
Next time, try challenging us without obstructing an investigation. You've angered the monarch.
From the onset of rigor mortis, the stiffening of the muscles, the time of death is estimated to be between 20 and 2200 hours. That's still quite early for such a crime to take place. Note that there are 2 exterior wounds, pressure marks around the neck, and a long cut running from chest to abdomen. Blood marks on her right hand tell us she was gripping something round in her right hand. Her skull is also fractured, but that is unrelated to the cause of death. It probably happened to her after she was killed. Now, I first thought death by suffocation, due to the marks on her neck. But after further investigation, I now have a different conclusion. The direct cause of death was loss of blood from the wound.
Which means...
She was cut up while she was still alive.
Yes, a sharp knife was used. It was inserted beneath the sternum and then quickly sliced downwards. The excessive loss of blood from her internal organs is what actually killed her. Her nails are clean, and with no skin cells from the attacker. She also doesn't appear to have been bound nor badly beaten. She was apparently killed without resistance. The most tragic thing, however, was that she was unable to speak her story to anyone who could hear her cries.
The perpetrator cut out Anna's tongue.
あ、そういうこと？
I believe she was drugged first to phase her consciousness, and then the killer killed her. Now, the killer most likely has a deep, traumatized past concerning women. He probably cannot converse with them normally. Cutting out the tongue suggests a very lonely individual. Either that or a truly hardcore.
お前が犯人だろう。じゃあ。
He must get off on watching women suffer, especially when they can't answer back. He watched as the blood pumped from her body, as she gradually grew cold. A case in Seattle in 1985 was much like...
Usha, please, limit your report to your findings as a doctor. Criminal profiling is my job. You're wrong, also. Anna died fully, deeply, painfully aware of what was happening to her.
But,
Tell me, what time did it stop raining on the night Anna was killed?
Just before I went to bed, right after the movie on TV ended, so around 1 a.m.
What movie was it?
An American Werewolf in London.
Directed by John Landis, 1981. So the rain stopped, accompanied by the ending song, Blue Moon. George, would you mind if I examined Anna myself?
What more do you hope to find?
I'm sure I mentioned that I have a personal interest in cases like these.
Hmm? ね、これね、目の下ね。そういうことこれ。こんな風になんないだろ。ピースマークのようなもののレリーフが入った円盤状のもの。あった？こっちね。
From her lack of resistance, I'd say that Anna's injuries happened very quickly. Unable to speak, she was then left to cry herself to death.
これはかわいそうだ。
Zach, it's all starting to come together. The perpetrator stayed with her for at least 2 hours until it stopped raining. At the estimated time of her death, it was still raining, but you can still see tear marks on her cheeks. That means she was killed under a roof somewhere. She was then carried into the woods after it stopped raining.
There's one other thing. Her tongue was removed with a very blunt knife. In fact, it's more likely it was simply chopped off.
どっちよ。
Asha, are you a passionate man?
Well, not particularly, but I am man enough should the moment call for it.
George, how about you?
I'm very passionate. Yes. Especially when it comes to women. But I don't see what that has to do with anything.
George, the perpetrator is just like you. He's passionate about women. He's a passionate kisser. This was a kiss of death.
The perpetrator bit off Anna's tongue.
We'll never get a dental print from a wound like this. But this is still a big lead.
Jackpot, Zach. A shame, but our old-time all-American sightseeing tour just came to an end.
This case is now under the jurisdiction of the FBI. I'm assuming command. I'll need you to assist me in the investigation.
What in the hell do you mean, Agent Morgan? I know I said I was passionate, but you can't think I did this.
That's not why I'm assuming command, George. You're a suspect just as much as every other passionate man on Earth. Let me show you something.
何なんだろうか。レッドシーズってことでしょ。
There you go. Amazing.
どういうことだよ。
I'm sure you have a lot of questions, but most of the details are top secret. George, Emily, we should be going. No need to stay here any longer.
Okay. I have to sign the release. Just give me a moment.
Very well. I'll go on ahead. I can't take it any longer down here. Bishop takes queen. His rook takes your queen. Then your knight takes rook. And checkmate.
Huh?
My first victory in the Grandmaster ranking.
あら、なんか様子がおかしいよ。
Zach, they're here.
さ、弾がないんだよね。弾売ってないね。売ってるわけだよ。ええか、セーブしたし、この辺でやめとこう、今日は。ほんじゃあ、さよなら、さよなら、さよなら。